Senate confirmation hearings for Judge Amy Coney Barrett have started in Washington.
The woman who hopes to replace Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg on the Supreme Court addressed the Senate Judiciary Committee and the American people. The political stakes on Capitol Hill could not be higher. If confirmed, Barrett would tilt the ideological balance of the nation's highest court, making it a 6-3 conservative majority.
He wants his Supreme Court and this nominee to join him in eliminating the Affordable Care Act.
Judge Barrett brings impeccable credentials, a judicial temperament, and a faithfulness to the law.
We're just 22 days from the general election. Democrats have argued unsuccessfully the committee should wait and are concerned about the fate of Obamacare. But Republicans have pressed on, touting Barrett's qualifications.
I believe Americans of all backgrounds deserve an independent Supreme Court that interprets our Constitution and laws as they are written. If confirmed, it would be the honor of a lifetime to serve alongside the Chief Justice and 7 Associate Justices.
Tomorrow and Wednesday, senators will question Judge Barrett directly in what will likely include some contentious moments.
As this contentious process moves forward, leaders are still divided over how to fill the Supreme Court. Today, we heard from Wisconsin officials from both sides echoing their party stances on the confirmation.
She certainly deserves a swift hearing and confirmation as quickly as possible.
Republican Senator Ron Johnson is confident his colleagues on the Senate Judiciary Committee have a duty to confirm President Trump's nominee to Supreme Court, Judge Amy Coney Barrett.
Right now, there's no time to break. We're the same party. President will nominate, will confirm. That is the norm, that is the precedent.
But Wisconsin Democrats, like Attorney General Josh Kaul, say now is not the time.
Instead of focusing on a coronavirus relief package, which is so critically needed, we're seeing an effort instead to rush through a Supreme Court confirmation.
Kaul joined healthcare advocates to raise concerns about the future of the Affordable Care Act if the majority of the Supreme Court turns conservative.
And if a third Trump nominee is confirmed to the Supreme Court, the risk that the court will in fact strike down the ACA and end affordable health insurance coverage for more than 20 million Americans.
Cancer survivor Renee Gash said ending pre-existing conditions could destroy families like hers.
Before I was just worried about dying. Now I'm afraid I'm going to bankrupt my family first.
I realize that Judge Barrett is going to be a different type of judge than Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it's going to change the composition of a 9-justice court.
Senator Johnson believes the process will end up adding a justice supported by voters.
I think America is going to see what I've certainly seen in Judge Barrett is, again, just a great person, a highly qualified judge, a highly respected judge.
Johnson said he's concerned if Joe Biden wins the election, will he push to add more justices to the court to balance the members? Biden has not answered that question so far.